eventually they sort of pressure you to become a manager, which I did. And that was one of those like turning points where, you know, everybody around me that was a manager was telling me to say no. I kind of wanted to say no, but it was kind of didn't really seem like an option, I guess. So I went into that and it was okay for a little while. I think one of the reasons I started to like have second thoughts or start looking elsewhere was because of the management team that I was under. I just didn't really feel supported. They knew I was a new manager, but, you know, I would ask questions and they would be like, well, you need to resolve this issue, you know, in your store. They weren't really willing to coach or help like guide me, I guess, along in the process. So I kind of felt like by myself, and I had, you know, connections with other managers, but I guess I was kind of looking for that support from a supervisor as sort of like a model. And I think that the Happy PharmD really kind of opened my eyes to like all the other avenues of pharmacy that like I really hadn't thought about. So I think like approaching it from that other angle of thinking like, okay, what do I really like to do in my experiences? You know, what have I been most satisfied with as far as like, I felt like I made a difference. I felt like I impacted, you know, like some patients' care. And it really like put a different spin on it. Like I think before I was looking, okay, I need a job, I need to make X amount of money, and I need it to be full-time or whatever. I kind of spun to like, okay, well, what do I like doing? So I think for me, that was like the biggest point of like, oh, I never thought about it that way. I mean, I really enjoyed my time with PharmD. I felt like Jackie was very supportive. I probably sent her a million drafts of my resume and she was happy to look over it and get it back to me. And, you know, I just felt like very supported the whole way. And I think kind of like that, like you said, like that classroom aspect of career coaching, it was kind of nice to see like, okay, I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only pharmacist who's like, I don't know what to do with my life. So I think it was really, you know, just kind of enjoyable to meet on like that level ground and see where everybody ends up. So I have found a job. I kind of went on, it's still pharmacy related, but it's kind of a different avenue. So I actually got a job at the Connecticut Poison Control Center. So it's very pharmacy related, it's very clinical. So it's really interesting, learning a lot about eating hand sanitizer to, you know, accidentally a toddler getting into a dog's medications. So it's very, very different, but it's nice. I mean, it's still, you know, it's a call center type setting, but you do still have that interaction with providers, and a lot of times they have absolutely no idea what to do. So it's kind of like a good, you know, back and forth dialogue, and they really appreciate our input, and it's just very different. I mean, I've always liked toxicology. I never really thought about a poison control center until I was just like, okay, like what else is out there, and kind of did like a deep dive into, I guess, non-traditional pharmacy paths.